Greetings everyone, this is Connor from DagoraC TV, and this is my videos on the review of the EGX convention in 2015 at the NEC in Birmingham. And I went for one day, I went on the Sunday, and I'm just going to basically talk about the games that I've been playing. So, the way I'm going to be showing this is going to be broken down into different videos of each game, and I'll be going to be honest, I didn't get to play a huge amount of games this year compared to previous years, mainly because, one, I waited in a long line to be able to play one, and I'm going to be kind of going through each one and talking about it and whatever. Okay, so the first game that I played, let's go straight into it, is Star Wars Battlefront. I'm going to go through them chronologically in the order that I played them, not from like best to worst or whatever, or anything like that, but I will tell you which game was my favourite when I get to the game in the videos. You'll have to watch them. They're all up at the same time, so go ahead and watch them all. The Star Wars Battlefront was definitely the biggest game there, you know, the game that everyone wanted to play, and I think that the way they actually did the booth was terrible, like terribly poor, because there was only 2 games on at any given time, and this is the biggest gaming convention in the UK, and, you know, they should have predicted that there was going to be a lot more people wanting to play, you know, games there, and you know, they put on 2 games, which is 20 people playing at one given time, and we was in a queue because for about 1 hour 45 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, and it was too long of a wait, to be honest with you. And I understand, you know, that you are going to get long queues in games and things like that, but they are quite a big space, quite a big booth space, and they wasted quite a lot of it with kind of nothingness, to be honest with you. I mean, it is cool to see, you know, the sculpture there, or people dressed up in costumes the odd time, but, you know, they could have made it a bit more better to be able to play the game quicker and kind of move through. Because the way that they did it is that they'd put a game through, and each game was around about 10 minutes, and then when someone's played the game, they'd bring in another 20 people through and sit them down and then show them a video of nothingness, really, to be honest with you. It was a character from the films, you know, telling you what you're going to be happening. You're fighting against these walkers, and you've got to bring down the walkers, or you've got to defend them and take out these posts or whatever, and basically telling you what you've got to do. And then you sit down the computer, and it's potluck whether you are on the Rebels or you're on the Empire. Okay, so let's get to the actual game, and I just want to give you a bit of a brief on my Star Wars knowledge and what I enjoy with Star Wars before you kind of get your opinion. I'm not really a Star Wars fan. Well, I'm not a Star Wars fan, to be honest with you. I've seen the films quite a while ago, and I wasn't really enthused by them. I liked episode 5, 6, and episode 3. I thought 1, 2, and 4 were... Well, 1 and 2 was ridiculous, and 4 I found was boring, except for the bit at the end. But, so I just want you to let that know before you get in there. And I don't know huge knowledge of the stuff that's in there, so if I get something wrong, please do not shoot me. Okay. And the thing about the game for me is that before I played the game, I wasn't impressed with what I saw gameplay wise. I'm not really the biggest, you know, shooter fan, whether it be first person or third person. I'm not really into it, and it kind of looked like to me, you know, Battlefield, but, you know, with guns. And at the end of the day, that's, well, not Battlefield with guns, but a reskinned Battlefield with a Star Wars kind of tag on it. And to be honest, that's kind of how it feels at the end of the day, you know. The map is, you know, like, it looks like one of the scenes from the films. It's the scene that you see in the E3 gameplay demo, and you do see, you know, the odd film character dotted around, you know, running around, which is actually controlled by someone. And, you know, you're shooting people, and it's got the laser and everything. There's no ammo, the gun overheats, which I thought was a kind of a cool method. And, you know, the map kind of plays into a good way where you can use these things called, like, it's like your booster, where you've got, like, you press R, or we was playing it on the I think was playing it on the PlayStation 4 controller, so it was the either R1 or L1. R1 will do like a kind of like a jetpack boost kind of thing, so you kind of go to the other side and get people who are hiding behind the cover, which I did quite a lot, and I really enjoyed that. And there was also one way you could change which kind of bullets you were using, and they'd make them more powerful but a lesser fire rate and things like that. And you had these cards, and cards would kind of give you kind of a bit of a bonus, kind of, you know, more sprint speed and whatever. You know, there was different with each type you picked. And the actual the gameplay with that was fun, but I can see it getting very repetitive because there wasn't a lot of variety there to be done. You know, and I know that it was just the one map that we played in the one game, but I looked at some of the options of the different types you could have, and there wasn't really a lot there. And maybe, you know, there could be some really great maps, you know, that could really change it up a bit. But of what I played, you know, by the time the game was done, I kind of had enough. And I wasn't exactly itching myself to go like, okay, let's join the back of this queue and play again. I played the one game, and I was like, it's kind of like Battlefield, but with Star Wars. Maybe a few nice changes, but it wasn't great. One thing that was really, really, really well done with it, though, was the sound design. And the sound of this game is incredibly well done, you know. It's like the movies, you know, and I know we had like an expensive headset on, but, you know, the way that, you know, when the music, when you're running through places, the shots that are getting fired, it sounds really, really well done, and the characters' voices have given you a brief of what to do in beforehand. Sounds like the characters from the films. And even when, you know, you're low on health and you get the impact, it sounds like real life when you're taking a sharp blow and you don't really know what to do. That was really well done, and it's got the look and the kind of the feel of the Star Wars films, which was great. And to be honest, that was kind of really the only advantage for me, to be honest with you. The flying in the game was definitely the worst part, and you know, I think I was like everyone. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I know that Star Wars would be ridiculous if it wasn't for space battles. And the fact that they didn't have space battles made me think, like, what's the point in even making the game? And then when I had to go with the flying, I understand why they avoided it. The flying in the game is an absolute joke. You know, you kind of move around with the right analog stick, and you can change positions really quickly, but it's very easy to crash. And loads of people, when we was queuing up, I was watching people crash, and everyone was laughing at them, going like, you know, thinking like, oh, he's crap. But then when you actually get a hold of flying, you're like, Jesus, you know, this is actually really difficult. And the left analog stick, because it's only the two analog sticks that use it, it kind of balances between speed and kind of accuracy on gunfire, I think it was. So holding it really far up would go quick, so you'd be able to kind of maneuver yourself through the map quickly, or down will kind of slow you down but make you easy to aim to be able to shoot people. And you try and maneuver, you know, to kind of go up and down and get as many people. And one move that it showed was, you know, having a rope and kind of tying the walker's legs up. You know, on the video, this was before, tying the walker's legs up and then making the walker fall down. But Christ, that'd be incredibly hard to do with this flying that it's got. It's going to take a lot of getting used to if you're going to get this game. And, you know, a lot of people were crashing. I gave it a go a couple of times just to see what it was like, and I struggled with it both times, along with many other people. The flying is ridiculously poor, and it needs a lot of work. You know, if they really want to make it a great flying method, you know, for people to enjoy and be able to do really cool stuff with, either people are going to have to get really well used to it, or, you know, they're going to have to work on it, and they haven't got a lot of time, so it's going to be more likely that it's going to be you who's going to have to get used to it, and that's not a great thing to have in a game. Okay, and finally, I'll talk a little bit about the game mode. And the game mode was basically, you're both kind of attacking different points, but you're defending this different points as well, what the other team is attacking. So one thing is that what our team was attacking the walkers, which is like, if you haven't seen Star Wars, is like the huge dog things that kind of walk through. And they're on rails, you know, they've got a certain way of walking, but you can shoot out of them if you want to go on to that, which isn't the best in the thing they could have done, to be honest. You could have been able to control it. And the way they shoot down is, you know, the planes would shoot them, or you get this like this bonus, this kind of point which you can gather throughout the map, and if you get 2 points, you can activate like a rocket launcher and fire a shot at that. But when it says it's weak and not defended, then everyone kind of just turns to kind of fire on it rapidly, because even shooting it brings down its health, which, I'll be honest with you, it felt a bit ridiculous that we were just kind of there's this huge robot and we're just shooting at it to bring down its health. And if it was very, you know, that's kind of what it was really, you know, just kind of like spray fire at different areas. You're not really, you know, a really tactical game, you know, where it involves a lot of teamwork like Counter-Strike Go. It was more like Call of Duty and Battlefield, where you're just kind of running around and whoever sees the other person first gets the kill. And it wasn't the best for me. It didn't really spark any interest. It didn't make me think I really want to buy this game. But I think if you're really excited for Battlefront, I don't think it's going to go to you, or don't buy this game. I think you'll be happy with it, but I think you'll get really bored of it quickly. You know, it's going to be one of them games which is popular for about 2 or 3 weeks, like Titanfall was. You know, be popular for quite a while. You know, probably until after the movie hype has kind of died down, and then everything will just kind of drop on it. It's definitely not going to be as successful as what Battlefront 2 was. and I think a few people may be disappointed with it if they was expecting a lot more, because they've cut down a lot of stuff already. But maybe the multiplayer missions that you can do is great. You know, that's something I haven't considered. But the actual online game that I played wasn't the best amount of fun, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't exactly go out my way to play it again. Okay, so please comment below of what you thought of the video, and also check out the other videos that I've got of the other games I've played. I played Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Just Cause 3, Cuphead. It was just a few to name, and I played quite a few, so definitely go check them out. And also subscribe to join the fellow Dagorans. Goodbye.